Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. My name's Andy, Decade Andy. My computer lives once again, so I'm back on the internet and just on a computer. I'm joined this week by the man whose computer was working last week. It's Mikey G with 3. Hello, Mikey.
I'm just lazy.
Oh, is that what happened?
No, well, I got home at like 10 o'clock at night as well. So it was kind of like, this is not conducive to recording.
Oh my God. Oh man, Mikey going out on the lash as he tends to do.
Oh yeah, you know me.
On the lash. Yeah, we're here this week to talk about Transformers news. Try and catch up on 2 weeks worth of news. We're kind of trimming the fat from last week and hopefully talking about the highlights. But how's Mikey doing? Is Mikey good?
I'm all right. I have a cup of coffee. I'm pretty good.
God. Wow, you're really pulling out all the stocks.
The stocks?
Yeah, the stonks. Yeah, it's nearly
stonks.
8:30.
I thought it was like, shouldn't you be saying stop?
No, I can say stuff. Stuff. Here's the thing. Are you allowed coffee at this time of night? Is it not going to keep you up all night if you have it now?
It's decaf. Also, caffeine does nothing to me.
I've abused caffeine enough, and it now no longer abuses me.
I am literally immune to it now.
Oh no, that's bad though, isn't it?
Probably.
What glump. Yeah, if you wondered why I wasn't here last week, my computer died, and we were going through the process of figuring out what it was. I kept getting a blue screen crash with a WHEA error corruption, which basically meant that there was some hardware failure, so I had to go through, with the help of Mr. Jason, figure out what bit of hardware was broken. It seems like it was my hard drive, my SSD hard drive on my motherboard. So I needed to go and buy a new hard drive, replace that, and get all the boot information from that drive and everything else on that drive over onto my new hard drive, and then hope and pray that it was working. And it seems like we've got it all sorted now. So could have been a lot more expensive. Luckily, it wasn't, but could have been a lot worse. I also didn't want to. I got a bigger hard drive than I had before. But I didn't get a massively bigger hard drive because I was like, in case it wasn't the main issue, I was like, I could spend £100 and get a really big terabyte drive. But what if that's not the reason that I'm having problems and it's a CPU issue and I need to spend at minimum, even for a basic new CPU, over £100? Then I'd be into like £200, £300 I'd have to spend in total from the hard drive. So I was like, okay, just get a basic hard drive, and luckily we were fine. Pain in the ass though, because I was completely out of being able to use my computer.
How is it for games and stuff?
Fine.
No problems.
No, not since I've changed over the hard drive. We're all good now. I've been able to do a few bits of streaming, so it's all good. I did have... luckily, I had the PlayStation 4 to keep me company, and I had a fuck ton of Stargate to get through, so I just went, okay, well, I've got nothing to do. Let's put on Stargate, I guess. So I just hoofed through a load of Stargate SG-1, so thank God I had that set. Anyway, Transformers, Mikey. We should get on and talk about them, yeah?
I hear they are in the skies.
Oh my God. That's the thing that they do. That's the thing that they do. Yeah, we're going to start off with Newage, as they seem to be on the show every week, practically. We've got the H-34EX Hephaestus. This is obviously the Legend Scale Devastator toy. What does the EX mean? The EX seems to suggest that this is the toy version of the figure. So if you like them stickers, you like them yellow eyes, this is the version for you. Or if you just wanted, a way to get the figures and you missed out on the original release, this is a way. There was also the Newage H-34Y Hephaestus, which is the G2 Constructicons. So it's the yellow version of them. I don't know which, because I think there were a few different versions of the G2 Constructicons, wasn't there? Because it was an orange one.
Yeah, this is the original version, I believe. I'm going to double check that. But because there's an orange one and there's a yellow one.
Yeah. And this is the yellow one, obviously, but I don't think either set comes with anything desperately new.
I don't think so.
No, I can't tell.
Yeah, I don't. It's just that they're sold as a gift pack. I think all like the weapons and everything else do come with with all the basic figures, like the drills and whatnot. Yeah. Interchangeable faces, 2 drills. Yeah, it's all the same parts.
So it's just less faff to get them now if you just want them in one box set. Obviously, you're spending more money up front. I suppose.
Upfront, definitely more money up front.
But you don't have to worry about like missing out on them and having like 4 out of the 6. What do you think of these then, Mikey? Because we were both pretty impressed by how Hephaestus looked originally. Toy colors usually aren't our jam, but what about G2? Tell me about like toy colors, I guess.
The toy colors, it's basically just kind of regular, slightly more matte with a bit of extra detail. So it's not really my thing. Does highlight, it's still highlighting these look like really strong individual figures, and I still think, given what they're working for, in order to get a really solid looking combiner, they did the right thing with the torso.
Yeah, I'm sure there's still people that really hate that as well.
Oh, absolutely. I bet you, I'm not going to, but I bet you I will scroll down the messages, and then there'd be like, within 2 messages, there'd be someone saying like, I hate the gimmick.
Probably.
But I think it looks like a really solid figure. I do prefer the G2 one. I think I've always liked those colors a lot.
Same. I mean, they're more natural. That's like what construction vehicles are. I don't see green ones. I see yellow ones, not green.
I think the sort of muted yellow with the purple is a really nice combination there. So I personally would like that one a lot more. And I think the individual Constructicons all look great. And Jesus, these figures are posable looking at them.
Yeah.
No, I really like it. It's New Age, which means like I'm surprised that they didn't announce these first and then say here's a regular one. But no, I think these are solid.
Do you think they're going to do the weird one, which wasn't there a it's not Combiner Wars. What was the G2 the Combiner series? Oh, Battlestar. There's a Battlestar where it had a load of
Battlestar. Yeah, I don't know if they had a Devastator in there because they've got a Computron. They've got Battle Gaia.
What was the Devastator that was like? It had blue, orange, and yellow, and a few other different colored Constructicons in there as well. Or was that just the original Diaclone version? Because there was one like that.
Hang on, let's see. Diaclone Devastator.
I remember there was a one that
I know
there's
a knockoff of it. Yeah, the original Diaclone is the multicolored one.
Ah, okay. Well,
which looks bananas.
Yeah, I don't like it too much because I think there's too much blue on it, at least from my perspective.
It's the asymmetry that drives me, because it's like yellow limb, the yellow limb, blue leg.
Yeah. I think that was my issue with it as well.
Yeah, and the way the reds are spread out and everything else, I think the solid colors are the best way to go. But
I think you can have an asymmetrical color scheme, but you need to have something that unifies them to bring them together. Oddly enough.
There's the orange Devastator as well.
Yeah, I could see them doing that one. I think that's probably and maybe is that one a more likely one for them to go for next, because it is really similar to 34Y. The yellow one. It's really similar to that. Would they bother with that, or would they just try?
Oh, they do it because bright orange. Like it is quite a different shade of orange, so I could see them definitely.
I guess. I just think like they might go for the blue one more, just because it's more. It's strikingly more different compared to just orange, yellow to orange.
Yeah. They could do Shattered Glass, which is in the Protector Box colors.
Yeah, it's lame.
I'm trying to. They could do Revenge of the Fallen, which is I'm still planning on picking up the Flame Twice Devastator, hopefully in the next few months actually, and basically just because I want to do a custom on that because it's not a mold I'm super interested in its own, so I'm thinking about doing it in Revenge of the Fallen colors.
Okay.
Whoops. A bunch of dice fell on the floor.
He rolled a 1.
I rolled 0. I'm just trying to think, like, and is there any character like a depth chargey kind of thing, like any wild character you could do from a combiner, like the.
Maybe it's not a combiner that they try and make interesting characters out of. Maybe they'd go for more of individuals. Like maybe they'd look at like you could do Scoop from Scavenger.
Yeah, no, that would be kind of fun.
You know, we've seen that done before. I think that's possible. You could do that again. Offhand, no, they've already got a grapple, don't they? I think they've already done grapple.
Grapple. I don't know off the top of my head.
Maybe you could make a faux grapple out of a hook, potentially, if you tweak some bits around. Obviously, it would be a bit more of a stylized hook, but maybe something like that. Could you do Bone Crusher from Bone Crusher? No, what was his name? The Armada one. Scavenger.
Oh,
Scavenger from Scavenger.
You wouldn't really be changing much, though, color-wise. You might retool a bit, but...
Yeah, you give him a new head, maybe. Well, it's not just like recolor, it's like because obviously with Depth Charge and the Cyclonus, they did remold parts from, so maybe they could do the same for that as well. Maybe do that. I don't know. Mix it up a bit. But yeah, I think maybe if they didn't just go, if we look at the individual robots and try and make something interesting from that instead of just forcing a combiner, a full set combiner, maybe it'd be easier and maybe it'd be worth more money to do that. I don't know. I don't know. You any thoughts there?
Not sure really. It's I think if I was them, I'd go Brave, like Build Tiger or something like that.
That'd be neat. I feel compelled to insist that they give him the Tiger chest though, because if Build Tiger doesn't have the chest, then get fucked.
It's just
basically.
Build.
Yeah.
Who wants that?
No.
But definitely. I would definitely say you'd have to do retool the chest for the Tiger.
At the very least. If you want, as long as he's got the Tiger chest, give him a football as well.
Yeah.
Give him the football.
Newage, if you're listening, you literally do everything else.
Yeah, do Brave. For fuck's sake. Brave's good. The only other thing Newage are doing, they're doing the H28 Octavian Limited Clear Red Hate Plague Ultra Magnus is what they're classing this as. I feel that this is a dangerous door that they're opening, Mikey.
You think?
I think this is Mikey might understand this. I think he already sees where I'm going with this. I will explain to you, the viewer, why I think this is dangerous. One, it's clear plastic.
Yes.
We've talked about clear plastic before. Why else would I think this is dangerous? Because there were a lot of characters that were infected with the hate plague.
Do you remember the Golden Lagoon?
I do remember the Golden Lagoon. And apparently I remember some characters who weren't even in that episode who happened to get Golden Lagoon colors. Please don't make this a thing. Please don't just go, oh, well, I guess I'm a pepper. I guess I'll make you a pepper too. I don't want like thousands of red clear Transformers. Stop.
This also gives you Hate Plague Optimus.
Yeah.
Which wasn't in the cartoon.
No, but you could do the pure white one. You could do that and have it like the milky white. I say milky white because it would be translucent white instead of just pure translucent. So you'd have to have a kind of white gloss over him if you wanted to do it that way. But they could easily do that. You know,
if Ultimates Super 7 Ultimates is giving us like dead corpse zombie Optimus Prime, where the fuck is my darkest? What was it? Dark. What was the episode where he comes back?
I don't remember. I think I tried to make that joke last time.
Where is that one? You know, I want to see one. like the proper zombie one where he's alive but like clearly broken into bits and like he's screaming, "Don't give me the Matrix! Don't give me the Matrix! Don't give me the Why did you give me the Matrix?"
Damn it, Hot Rod. Yeah, I'm surprised they've never done that. I'm glad in a way, but. Yeah, like I say, this is a dangerous door that I don't want to be opened. If you wonder how many this is going to be limited to, it's a lucky draw item limited to 50 units worldwide. So if you're really gagging for the Octavian,
50
you're going to be one of 50 people, unless you're an army builder. Maybe you want all 50. Maybe you want to hoard the red Ultra Magni.
Maybe.
Yourself.
Oh God, it's just like no. It's going to be. I'm going to buy them. They're an investment.
Exactly, yeah, because I have them all. They'll be worth more. Lamau.
Lamau, indeed.
Lamau. Mikey,
Mm.
tell us about some extra things from conventions.
TFCon Toronto, which is it on this weekend? No, I don't think it is. Have revealed the X-Transbox MX3B Jokund G2 version. So this is Groove in G2 colors, which is yellow with a little teal saddle. Makes him look like he should have been in an 80s cop show about someone like who was working in Florida and obviously has like the hot topic colored not hot topic, the hot color, the hot satchel. Basically, it looks wrong. That one got away from me. But yeah, so it looks, I would describe as fine.
That's how I'm usually described as well.
It doesn't look great. It looks fine.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I would describe it as fine. I mean, it is G2, and I think that the problem is it's the protector bot. Maybe I think this is a color scheme that could work if you added something else to it. Like you gave him like some interesting sticker work on his chest, or like some just something to make him pop, because he is in robot mode just gray boob, gray penis, and just solid yellow arms. It's a lot of just solid color without anything really breaking up. Like maybe you could do the elbow joints, like, and put that in black. Make the hands black. Make the ball joints connecting the shoulder. Maybe make the shoulder pad black. Just add or like the gray or something. Just add a little bit more. Granted, I know they're probably going for direct color to the original toy, but I think it needs something a little bit more zesty. Oh no, not black. We don't go for black. We do for the. I just noticed what the seat color is. The seat color is like a turquoisey blue. So get that turquoise blue more into the robot mode, because that turquoise practically vanishes in robot mode. So if we could have had a little bit more of that dotted around in robot mode, I think that would have been nicer. In terms of the mold, it's X-Transbots. It's got a lot of the usual X-Transbot stuff that I don't. That just gel with me. What about you, Mikey?
Basically same.
Yeah.
I'm sure someone's very, very happy for it.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, people are surely they're buying X-Transbots. Not us, but
no, it's just not me. It's just not something I'd be interested in.
Yeah, it's nice that they've got a special TFCon exclusive, though. I suppose that's nice.
Yeah, it's good, and it looks like they already did the police car. What was his name?
Streetwise. Yeah,
they already did Streetwise. So, but yeah, it's just not my thing.
I'm gonna let you take the next story as well, Mikey, because you're much more into drift than I ever have been.
You mean? No, I'm more into my version of drift.
Yeah, potato. Because yeah.
Oh,
and I think we talked about the gray. I gave you this story last time as well, and it was the gray prototype. So this is the colored version this time.
So we get to see the Metagate, which is new third-party company, Haiku, which is the Age of Extinction triple changer drift. So for anyone who doesn't remember, in Age of Extinction, drift is technically a triple changer, in the same way that what would they say? Grimlock is a Dinobot, in that he is a bot who is technically a dinosaur. But my god, is he barely
Hang on, what do you mean technically?
Technically. Well, it's complicated. I'm not going to get into taxonomy of it. But he sure as hell ain't Grimlock in terms of anything that actually makes him Grimlock. And similarly, this is not a triple changer. If I remember right, they didn't even have the model. They did the car mode model, and it just and now he's a helicopter. Yeah, because they didn't retool the model in any way to give him helicopter blades. But anyway, so previous toys have kind of represented this with retools or just one mode versions. I think Studio Series did the helicopter version as just a single alt mode, similar to what they did with much better triple changers from a Bumblebee movie. But yeah, so this is all color. And I think the robot mode looks very, very solid. It looks very well put together. Obviously, it is this design, which I have an emotional attachment for because entirely of my own fanon. I think it looks very posable. It's got some on-topic accessories. So that's all good. The car mode is pretty close to Bugatti Veyron, probably close enough that they'll probably not want Bugatti noticing this. But it looks like it's a fairly solid transformation, a bit panel liney, and there's clearly some undercarriage kibble, but works well enough. And then we have the helicopter mode, which the story here describes it as a bit messy.
Do you remember that Simpsons Treehouse of Horror episode where they all get turned inside out at the end because of the gas?
Oh yeah,
that's kind of what like this helicopter mode feels like. It feels like someone turned Drift inside out and then just formed his body parts into the shape of a helicopter. No one would be convinced that this is a helicopter.
No, it looks like a robot who's screaming.
It's as convincing as Grimlock being a real life dinosaur.
Yeah, see, Andy
made of metal.
Andy did that one better than me.
I do really like the idea of like Grimlock appearing in one of the future movies and like busting into a museum, and all the museum staff are just they're not surprised, they just shake their head and go, "That's not right. He shouldn't have that there."
No. He comes in and there's like a poster for Jurassic World, and there's just like a series of paleontologists shaking their heads at that. They turn around and just silently start shaking their heads at him as well.
I think you get a few people going,
one is Richard Nixon from Futurama.
Oh my god. He'd be a good headmaster.
Oh god, what? Oh, can we have that custom, please?
Yeah.
Did Super 7 do Nixon in any way? Because you could probably do a bit of a custom job.
Did he ever get like in the show? Did he ever get like spider legs like Mr. Freeze?
I think he had a giant robot body at one point,
but he didn't have like little spider legs on his head stand thing, whatever. The head bubble. Shame. I think that's a classic though, isn't it? Like, you are a severed head and you're alive. We're going to give you spider legs because we saw the thing and it looked really creepy. Because they did that in Batman, and they did that as well in The Mask. Do you remember the Mask cartoon with the bad guy?
Yeah. You can get a bender that you can put Nixon on, so you could probably put that on the Ultimates.
Oh, that could work. Yeah.
But it's what line is this?
That's Super 7, right? Isn't it?
No, this is this is from years and years and years ago.
I felt that there was a new-ish Bender toy, is there not?
Yeah, but this was like, I'm looking at this. Yeah, I remember when this came out. This was a good few years ago.
Oh no.
I don't know who made him, but yeah, this predates Super 7. And yeah, I'm just looking at it now. Like, it's got a lot of limitations, barely any joints, anything like that. But hey, your own Nixon. But yeah, I think that helicopter mode is ridiculous. The robot mode I think is solid, and I think the vehicle mode is solid. But apart from that, I'm good.
All right.
What about you?
Yeah, like you say, robot mode's really good. I like if these are real images. It's got a nice shimmer to it, shine to make it look metallic-y. I've never been a big fan of the drift mode, but it seems like if you are a fan of at least two modes, you'll be super satisfied. Don't worry about the third mode. Don't worry about that. I think doing the simplistic cartoon G1 style makes doing triple changes much easier than the movie style, which is all very bitty and complex. I think that kind of design style, I don't want to say completely makes triple changes impossible, but I think you can do a lot less cheating with this kind of style to try and get the triple change. I think it's why we don't have a good Mikey, the bad guys from the Bumblebee movie who you really like.
Oh, Shadow and Dropkick.
Yeah, it's why we're not probably going to get good triple changes of them. Like, good individual, they've got one good mode, but not like combinations of the two.
Yeah. No. Especially with their modes are just so distinct from each other.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. It's not like Springer.
No. Well, no. I notice you don't even pick a good triple changer. You pick not the worst.
Broadside.
Yeah, well, we talked about that last time. Shall I move us on, Mikey?
Take us on.
So, Takara Tomy are doing the anti-gravity pedestal. These are the... I remember seeing this kind of science experiment, I'll call it.
Yes.
Back when they were doing it with Legos, and you got like 2 bits of Legos, and it's not really floating. but it gives you the illusion that it is floating. It's an interesting little thing. And I guess Takara wants to move into the biz of doing their own figure stands because they've got enough ports and pegs for you to figure stand things. So here we go. If you want to have these little floaty in quotation stands, the best idea is to look at these stands yourself and see how it works. Because it uses physics more so than anything else. Yeah,
bitch. I mean,
physics,
if
bitch.
nothing else, you could get a couple of stands out of this. If you don't need the integrity thing, you've got some decent sized stands because they're not small.
Depending on how many arms you get, I guess it depends on how many stands you get.
You get a static arm and a mobile arm.
Yeah, it does kind of highlight to me how undynamic the Optimus Prime figure is from Earthrise.
Yeah. Oh, this is that weird one that's it's a retool or it's a repaint. It's a repaint of the one that came with Kingdom Ultra Magnus, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
which is
I think you might be
the
right.
only way to get this mold like this.
Yeah,
in Optimus colors.
Maybe you shouldn't get it.
Yeah,
I don't know. It doesn't look good.
I'm good.
Yeah. So yeah, anti-gravity stands. Woo!
Tensegrity, bitch.
Did you say tegrity?
Tensegrity.
Oh, I thought you said tegrity. I was like, okay.
That man there, he got tegrity, boy.
That's tegrity weed, boy. Tegrity weed. I'll take the next story as well because that was a quickie. This is also a quickie. Masterpiece MP 48 plus Black Lio Convoy in the works? ? When we have an image of Black Lio Convoy.
In the same kind of format we've had all those ? Masterpiece that 5 days later have been revealed as entirely official.
So I'm not saying we're definitely going to get a confirmation within the next week or so, but
boy, howdy, are we going to get confirmation in the next week or so?
More than likely. And again, it wouldn't be that surprising as Black Lio Convoy is a thing Japan likes. Will we get Shining? Is it Shining?
Shining, Flash. Flash,
that's it.
And
Thank
then
you, Mikey.
the Green Warrior.
I could see us doing Flash. I don't know about Green Warrior, but I think we might get one more.
Yeah. This, you know what's weird about this? So this is Black Lio Convoy, right? So first of all, Black Lio Convoy is the original evil doppelganger.
Yes, yeah.
But this is based off the Black Lio Convoy toy, which had the grey mane and the black body. In the cartoon, it was the other way around. He had a grey body and a black mane.
Oh, interesting.
So a lot of the the colors are all reversed from what they would be in the actual cartoon.
I'm trying to think. Does it look better the other way?
I don't know. I kind of like the black mane.
I like the idea of that.
Yeah. But also, I don't think he comes with any unique accessories or anything associated.
I doubt it. I think this will just be a basic repaint, right?
Yeah. I'm just looking through here. There's a picture of him holding a flower.
Okay. Cool.
And
is this where he's trying to learn love, not war?
Don't know. One of the next pictures is him dissolving. So
does he scream like that when he dies? Does someone throw a bucket of water on him or something?
Oh God, I don't remember that episode very well. I saw it, but that was a long time ago.
Oh my God. But yeah, if you want yourself a Black Lio Convoy, he's coming. Is it guaranteed that we'll get more? I guess depends how many they sell. Yeah, Mikey.
Yes.
Take us on to statues of ladies.
So the Baishoujo series Optimus Prime is now, I believe, pre-orders are up. So we now have teaser images for the next figure, which is unsurprisingly Bumblebee, but it looks like quite a jaunty Bumblebee. Unfortunately, it's only the outline and they've colored it in, but I'm currently putting money down that she's going to be wearing a Bumblebee style hoodie. Unless that's supposed to be her hair. But so this isn't much to
what if it's
tell
an
about
Iron Mouse hoodie?
That would, it'd be cool, but it wouldn't make sense.
No, didn't have to.
She's got an Android, isn't she?
Yeah, it's just newly announced. I made the joke of it'll be out of date by the time it comes out because she'll probably have a new model by then.
Yeah, and she'll reveal that model when she absolutely shouldn't. Yeah, I was watching a lot of the VShojo stuff with the new announcements and things this week.
Yeah.
I realize that I kind of wish I'd gotten into VTubers when I was in my early 20s because I would be so much more excited about some of those reveals because I would be young and impressionable. Now I'm just
Yeah,
kind of like, cool.
Oh, you mean you wish you were 20?
Yeah,
And
because
because I was gonna say, when you were 20, there were no VTubers.
exactly. Yeah, I realized
They
that
didn't
we knew
exist.
of. There might have been one just sitting there quietly.
Oh, but I suppose technically, like, Kitsuna Ai existed
Yeah.
at that time.
Did she?
No,
she's 2015.
At some point in our 20s, she existed.
In my literal 20s, but like just at the tail end of it. I
Yeah.
am very old. But yeah, like Keisan joining V Shoujo and the new one who totally isn't Rushia.
No.
The fact that all her existing social media have mysteriously vanished.
No, it's a coincidence. She's been spirited away.
No, I did like
Rest in peace.
watching the panel that Keisan did and just like, yeah, this new girl. Maybe I'll like her. Who can say? And then she just does this like face, this pause, like, you know. She's just doing a face like, maybe I know already. Who can say?
I can't remember, what was their relationship like in HoloLive?
Apparently, like she was one of the ones who moved. She didn't move into the HoloLive like apartment block that a bunch of them lived in for a while, but she moved next to it.
Oh, okay.
So from what I understand, like the ones that going back in the day, Coco, was the most
back
sociable.
In the day, that was a year ago.
I know, it's weird. They announced this the day like on the year anniversary as well.
It felt very deliberate.
We're like Rushia, Matsuri, the boob twins from the second generation, which is basically Mel and Choco.
Okay.
Hachima, Krone, Miko, and the other Gen 4 girls were the ones off the top of my head. And I know like Keisan's done collabs with totally not Choco and Mel.
Right.
In real life on her channel. And I know she's done them with the totally not Matsuri as well.
I'm guessing these are in real life streams rather than
YouTube models. I remember.
Yeah.
I don't watch a lot of Keisan stuff just because it's like in Japanese and it's hard for me to listen to.
You fucking racist.
Well, apparently her Twitch does a lot more English, so I might check that out. But it was just like these cut off heads, like doing the thing where like suddenly Keisan's not showing her face and just like, that's weird. And everyone else in there isn't showing their face, but like you can't mistake those voices.
No, especially if you've watched a lot of their stuff.
Yeah. I think she had Noel on. I think so. But it was interesting to watch. I watched the lore video, which the VTuber lore thing is weird to me when there's no fiction around them.
I said this to you, and I'll say it here as well. I don't think anyone cares about the lore videos apart from the VTubers themselves.
And I will say this: I've watched a couple times now. I think Keisan's is actually quite well done
in terms of how it's made, or in
terms of how it's what the story is, the tone of it.
Sure,
it felt very deliberate.
I'll explain why I say that though, right? Because when you watch a stream, the first like if you're trying to get into a new VTuber, I guarantee you are not going into a stream going, man, what's their lore? Tell me what your lore is. You don't care. You're going in there to be entertained, and if the person's entertaining and you gel with them in that kind of way, that's when you start. And even then, do you care about the lore? I doubt it.
The thing that strikes me as funny, like Silver Veils, I find very, very cringy.
Why is that?
And because it's just so twee.
I was going to ask if you were going to say twee.
Yeah. But like hers, like she clearly made it up herself, and it's like, oh, I wish if I was an anime character, this is the kind of thing I'd do, and blah blah blah. But then you've got something like Chloe's from HoloLive, where it was very obvious the lore was made before they hired the person.
Oh, that's the killer whale lady.
Yeah, because boy howdy does she not tie into the actual fiction they've written around her. Just a tad. But yeah, so it was interesting to watch, but yeah. Anyway, tying this back in, anime girls. I think the Optimus is really, really well designed. I think the Megatron is well designed. I'm expecting this to be well designed. I would love to see this keep going and to go into model kits or something like that. I wouldn't want action figures for this. I would want model kits.
That's fair. Yeah, I can see that.
Any thoughts yourself, Andy, on this silhouette?
I mean, it's interesting to see that the line is continuing. I can't say it's a big shock that it's fucking Bumblebee. I guess the next one after Bumblebee will be Soundwave or Starscream, because that's how it goes. And then if it gets that far, it'll die. We'll get like 4 or 5, and then that'll be it, because that's the main 5 G1 Transformers that always get done.
Yep.
Maybe get Grimlock, and then it's over. That's it. That's how it always works out.
Yeah, I could believe it.
Yep. Mikey, do you want to know about toys?
Toys.
Yeah, even more 2023 Transformers listings found, apparently. Studio Series leader.
Holy shit.
80. Why are you shitting, Mikey? Don't shit.
Holy shit.
Well, you can.
Holy shit.
Holy shit everywhere. 86 Snarl, so it's a leader Snarl. We got the.
Hang on. 86 Snarl.
Yeah, leader 1986 from the movie.
You mean Transformers the movie?
Yeah.
With his leading role.
Yeah. He was there all the time.
Was he?
Yeah. Yeah. It's just like the camera just was slightly needed to pan to the left and to the right a little bit more.
I'm still disappointed this isn't going to be like I know they'd never do it, but I really just want them to have an empty box with a background showing the other Dinobots.
£50. No, what's the new price for leaders? 60 quid?
Yeah, but they're all in like they're all in like the leaders don't have any open windows anymore. So
That's
you could
right.
do that. You could just have that in the front, just have a picture of all the other Dinobots.
Oh my god, that'd be great. Well, it wouldn't be great, but there's also Rise of the Beasts Scourge and Rise of the Beasts Optimus Primal. So these are listed, and they're all leaders. We've got Snarl, and then the other two have stupid names like Oscar and Cyclops. But they're coming for 2023 if you're gagging for them. It seems like it's going to take a while if you want the full Dinobots sets, which I guess makes sense because leaders come out infrequently, and they decided to make them all leader scale. So
yeah,
they're coming.
But yeah, I suppose in terms of like the figures you and I would care about, assuming we would care about them, having the delay on Rise of the Beast does mean like, hey, the deluxe line comes out with the film.
That's good.
It's a novelty, if nothing else.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like Snarl's the one to watch out for, I suppose. Although I'll admit, of the G1 Dinobots, he's my least favorite design in both toy and cartoon model.
I remember he was the most faffy for me to transform.
Yeah,
mainly because like his tail would always stick together.
Yeah, he's just a spiky potato.
That's fine. There's nothing wrong with potatoes with spikes on them, Mikey. Come on now.
No, but I don't want to handle one.
Oh my god. I don't know who was my least favorite Dinobot. Maybe Sludge? Because I thought he sounded dumbest of all of them. Which I think he was, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. That was at least back then, anyway.
I wasn't a big fan of the voice, and I never liked.
He was Welker.
I probably didn't like him because I think one of the wings, his little side wings, broke off very early on from when I had him as a kid because they were very easy to snap off. Oof. Yeah, I may as well take us on to the next bit of news as well because that was fairly quick. Transformers June live wrap up. We got
June live wrap up.
Yeah, that's right. The June live stream wrap-up, I should say. That's a good point. Good catch. We got the Velocitrons released, or reveals. We got red reveals, and we got shattered glass and more. I don't think it was much more than that.
Was there more?
There was like the duck transformers. The
best ones.
Yeah,
I love them.
can see
they are the best ones.
I can see why they weren't put in the image. I don't think there was any. Oh, there's also like no, that was it. Yeah.
I want them. I want one of them, and I want to just leave it in my bath at all times.
Get the fuck out of here.
So sit in my bath, floating. Not the Optimus one because it's just an Optimus face. I want little Mega Duck.
Okay. So, what was revealed? Well, oddly enough, not a lot of new stuff, but I'll tell you all the things that we hear, and then we can go through them. So we've got the not Black Convoy, but Scourge. Repaint of the laser Optimus Prime.
Did you see the designer comments on that?
I didn't know. What did they say?
The designer basically came in.
They say we're sorry, we made a mistake.
Kind of.
Oh, good. Oh well, that's something.
What he actually said was like, I was told to make a Nemesis Prime, and I basically just looked the most recent ones.
Oh
I didn't look back, and it didn't occur to me that Scourge would look different.
No,
But he
that's so
thinks he-
lazy.
But he likes how it turned out anyway.
That sounds really lazy to me, and like they don't care.
Mm.
I don't. If it, I wouldn't have let that answer go out. If I was Hasbro, I would be like, don't put that answer out. It doesn't look good. From my perspective, that doesn't look or sound good for the company.
Mm.
I don't know. There's also the Black Diaclone, I assume, version of Skids.
Burnout.
Whatever.
With a new head, I believe.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah,
I
okay.
think it's Crosscut's head.
It looks similar-ish.
Yeah.
One of the few new figures that we haven't seen or heard anything about, Cosmos.
Cosmos. Yeah. How do you feel about Cosmos?
Yeah, well, we did actually get some other images of Cosmos as well later on in the week.
Yeah.
I think his robot mode looks really neat. It looks really good. It's the same size as Pipes. It's what you would hope for a Cosmos.
Mm.
Then you get his vehicle mode, which is bad.
I've seen a lot of the people trying to defend the fact he looks like Oscar the Grouch flying trash can.
Oh, he so does. Yeah, it's Oscar the Grouch's can with a big like thing around the bottom of it.
Or like he looks like a Futurama robot.
Robot?
Yeah, there's lots of robots in Futurama. Like it should be like a living trash compactor or something like that, and he just like
Okay. Yeah, like I say, I don't mind the robot comments. That's fine. That's how he should look. I think the Cosmos UFO mode, you can say, oh, that's what he looked like in the show. It's close. It's close, but it's not quite right. Like the
proportions are all off.
That's the problem. I think it's mostly the proportions in the UFO mode are not correct. They're really wonky.
Yeah. I think that at one point during the video they showed this guy next to the Legends Cosmos, and to me, that was a little bit of a damning comparison.
Why is that? Why would you say it was damning?
Because he looks a lot better, I think. I think the Legends Cosmos looks a lot better in general. This guy, I'm not sure where I fall on him.
Like I say, I really like the robot mode. I think
certain angles I like the robot mode.
What angles do you not like him from, and why?
Anything that you can see from the side, because holy crap, those arms.
Yeah, they are very, very, very hollow.
Very hollow.
Yeah.
I also like, why are we justifying putting in Velocitron in line? He's got a flag.
He does. It's the only thing that seems racy about any of them, apart from
Blur,
Nitro Convoy, and Blur. I guess. Well, there's the bike as well. Yeah. That's about it. But yeah, this,
Yeah. He looks fine.
He looks fine. Nitro Convoy, we've talked about Nitro Convoy. We've talked about Green Long Haul, not Long Haul, Grapple.
Road Haul?
Green Long Haul. Yeah, that guy. There's the bike. What's the bike called, Mikey? I can't remember.
Rocket.
Road Rocket, yeah. It's the redo of, well, it's not a redo, but it's a slight repaint. Well, it's a full repaint and a slight new head.
Yeah.
For the RC mold, which is
to the point where I think this is the original mold and RC is just what they added on, but
100% agree. I think that's what we assumed as well, right? I still don't think it looks great though, and I don't hear good things about that mold in general for the RC, so I don't think most things are going to be fixed for it, regardless. There's the Diaclone version of Red Alert, which we've also talked about. There is the IDW version of Blur, which again we've talked about.
Still looks good.
There's the red version of Transformers Prime Megatron, which I think we've talked about.
No, these are new.
These are new. Okay, so what do you think of the red version of Transformers Prime Megatron? Because I mean, it's exactly what you would expect.
Yep, it is one of the best Megatrons that's ever been made. In fact, quite possibly the best. If you just want evil villain, it seems like he's got a bit of extra articulation I wasn't expecting in terms of like where they put the waist swivel and everything else. I think the sculpt looks good.
Yes.
There's some paint details missing. I know some colors are not there. Some of the purple's missing. But
I'd prefer they didn't do him in this the color kind of beigey gray that they made the original toy from. I think it would have looked a lot better if they'd made him silver and then made the highlight parts darker silver.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. I want to love this.
Sure.
It's just,
but then
again,
but then you remember the rest of the red line.
I've never heard I haven't heard anything about the knockout apart from the fact I've seen that it has really floppy weapons. I'm going to try at least one of them at some point, so it's either probably going to be knockout, but it could be Megatron or the next one, because it's Prime and it's my favorite Transformers series. But yeah, it's one of those things where like, wow, I really want to be excited for you, but I hear nothing good about the line you're in.
Yeah, which is weird because, Hasbro is known for doing action figures as well. So why is this red line not living up? It's weird. Strange.
Then again, I'd argue Lightning Collection had the same thing.
Yeah, that's probably true as well, to be honest. It's like some of the divisions of Hasbro are really good at making action figures, and then there are others which are just not used to it for whatever reason. There's also a Transformers Prime. Have we talked about Prime? No,
nope,
that's new as well, right?
He's new as well. Again, I think he looks like solid. I think he looks well done. I think the mold looks good. The Matrix is in there. It looks like the Matrix is going to be like sculpted into the hands. Is it? No, he's not. It just they didn't paint the handles.
No, it's the handles are the same colored plastic as his hands, so yeah, it kind of gets lost in.
I like the fact he's got swords, but they're wrong.
Oh yeah, so they are wrong.
That's weird. And he's got a second face sculpt. But now the weird forearm swords are now distracting me. Again, it's kind of like I want to be excited for you. Like aesthetically, I love this design, but just
I don't know if this one looks better than the Transformers Prime First Edition Optimus Prime.
No, I think that looks like a better toy.
Yeah, and not just because it transforms, obviously, but I think generally it looked like a bit of robot mode. The Megatron is better here because that was a Voyager toy. Yeah, that was a Voyager toy, and that Transformer toy, Megatron, came out at the beginning of the oil crisis, shall we say, for around that time period where all Transformers suffered. So,
boy, howdy, is it going to be interesting to see Transformers in 2024?
Yeah, sure will.
Which I haven't heard anyone talking about, but
yeah, well, prices will probably go up on them even more. I'm guessing maybe that's how it works.
But yeah, for Optimus, there's a third party one if I want that design.
That's true. Yeah. There's also Thundercracker, G1 Thundercracker,
no dog.
Which is no dog. Yep. And let's be honest, it'll just be, for the most part, I think it's just a repaint of Starscream. Yep, maybe a different head.
There's no new parts.
Not even the head. Damn.
Yep.
I think we always say this. If you do the Seekers, give them each a new expression.
Yep, and give them the right expression as well.
Yeah.
Like I hate it when they do the Seekers and they clearly like give Skywarp of Starscream's face.
Oh yeah. Never looks quite right.
Yeah.
The goons. Both of those guys are goons. They need goon-styled smirks or something.
Yep.
And not the weird scream, which sometimes they give. The weird scream never looks right. Also on the cards was... Oh, that's right. It's the Slicer pack. Slicer and... Yeah?
Yeah, I was going to say the weird thing, which is Shattered Glass Slicer, who is a Decepticon in this, except shouldn't that be Wheeljack?
Yeah. Your question is why call him Slicer when he is meant to be Wheeljack?
And he's also got like a regular Decepticon symbol. So I get the feeling he's being released under the Shattered Glass line because they wanted to do Slicer.
Here's the issue with Slicer that I have, because he comes with another dude as well, who I think is lame. Right, my issue with Slicer is he's not nearly as visually interesting as the original toy. The color placement on it is not right. Do you know what I'm talking about? Or do you need me to
not
pull up
off the top of my head now?
Yeah, okay. I'll find you an image of Action Master Slicer, because generally speaking, I think the original version has better color placement. And unfortunately, because they've made the top canopy roof, whatever you want to call it, for this Slicer, they've just made it black. It's taken away a lot of his interesting colors. There's a Slicer. There's a Slicer. Pop it in the chat. Bada bing, bada boom. Actually, someone's actually done a digibash of what they would have done Slicer as.
Oh, I see you.
There's a lot more blue on the chest. This is a digibash as well, somebody did. And I think that's a lot more visually interesting and closer to what Slicer is. In this version, that we're getting an official version of... Where is it? the canopy they're doing is red. It should be bright pink because that's the color that they did back in our day.
Mm.
The legs are right, I'd say. The top part of the roof is wrong on the original. On this toy, they've made it primarily black. On the original toy, they've got a bit more. There's a bit more blue to it to help break it up.
The arms are wrong.
The arms are wrong. The arms are very wrong. Yeah. There's just a few issues here and there where I look at it and I go, "This isn't quite right," and I don't like it personally.
Yeah. He comes with
but no.
a robot friend.
Yeah, what's the robot friends called?
I know it's a Black Rorichi figure, but
Fast Track, if you wanted to know as well.
Yeah. What's he called? His name is...
I can't remember offhand.
Exosuit.
Oh,
it's just an exosuit.
That's why I couldn't remember his name, because it's crap.
So he does... Did you see the picture of him in his vehicle? His referencing Slicer's companion vehicle?
Yeah.
Which is oh boy. I don't think that was worth getting 2 figures for.
No, well, you're gonna have to spend extra price on it as well, because it you can see that they were attempting to do Slicer's vehicle, but it doesn't. It's like, I guess it's the right colors ish.
Yeah,
but it doesn't look anything like it.
It looks like a guy lying down.
Yeah,
and which means it's just an awkward orgy.
Pretty much, it doesn't work.
I'm expecting the comic to be good.
Sure, yeah, that should be good if it's written by the same person that's written the previous ones, which it should be, right?
Yeah, I think they're down for it.
Yeah, then it should be good. So I think, as I was saying to you online, I think it's disappointing that out of like 12 or more figures that we got to see, only 3 of them were completely brand new that we didn't know about. And the one more we hadn't seen it, but we did know was coming, which was the Road Rocket, and then the rest we'd all seen previously. It's not really a problem with what they revealed, but actually it is kind of, because they do deliberately leak some of this stuff early on, at least to magazines to publish, not magazines, don't be dumb, but to websites. So I don't know. This stuff kind of annoys me sometimes. I look at it and go, ugh.
Yeah, it's one of those things that's a bit annoying, especially it seems like such a strange thing to say, here's this whole second subline that we're gonna...
what is this Velocitron thing?
It seems it's not. It's like the fact that so many of the figures don't feel like they're themed. It doesn't seem like it's themed around Velocitron, because hey, it's Cosmos, and how do we make him related to Velocitron? We give him a flag.
It feels like another line to get out even more repaints. I think you meant. I don't know if I mentioned this here before, but I think that you mentioned to me that it feels like we are in an era where we are guaranteed to get more repaints of figures than ever before. Because we used to get quite a lot of repaints, but now it feels like every single figure gets at least 2 repaints now, if not more. And they're just shunted into these sidelines. And then people make the excuse of going, "Oh, well, it's only an exclusive to, I don't know, like Walmart or a Target or something." It's like, well, it's not really the point. The point is they're really wringing these Transformers out at this point. It feels like, to me anyway.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird to me. Just I don't see why Cosmos couldn't gone into the main line. I don't even see why most of these repaints... In fact, I think the repaints would make more sense for the Legacy, the idea. If you're going to do this, hey, the idea is that Legacy represents many different universes.
Well, especially Nitro Convoy should have been the Legacy line, 100%.
Why is your main line all Generation 1, and these are all shunted off to presumably either a store or an online exclusive line?
Yeah. Again, Scourge, if he was really Scourge, theoretically, again, he should have been in the Legacy line for the RID representation. Yeah, you make a good point. But it seems like Legacy is just going to be... primarily G1 yet again, like Kingdom.
Yeah, and when they do Prime, and well, they do like to fuck up Prime.
That's true. It's true.
Which makes me very nervous about one of the later stories.
We got to make them more G1.
Do you know what?
Do that for everybody else.
Yeah, we've got to make them. We either need to make them of G1 or for G1, because G1.
It's sad.
Yeah.
But I get it. Me and Mikey aren't stupid. Doing the style of Prime is difficult. But we actually have you theoretically have more money and better engineering techniques than you did when not RID, but the Transformers Prime line that was named Robots in Disguise. You have more control and better control than what you did then. So make good, and you even did good figures in that time. You did the Soundwave and the drone and stuff like that. So
and there's quite a lot of really good figures in there. I think the Ratchet's really, really good. But we got better engineering, we've got better materials, which is a big thing now. So why can't we just have nice things?
I don't know. Mikey, do you want to take us on to our last two bits of news?
Yeah. Well, I had a third one I'm going to throw in here as well.
Oh, shit, I forgot.
So, there is, first of all, we have reveals of online evil leaks, the most evil thing via Transform Robots on Twitter. I like this. Possible first look. Please stop doing that. Stop doing that.
It's not guaranteed, Mikey.
It is.
Is it? Are you sure?
Yes.
It might not be real, though.
Because the only way this could not be is if you somehow got hold of a figure that hadn't been released and then did the custom of it.
It could happen.
It could happen. It's unlikely. So, Minerva, not surprisingly, if you read Treads and Circuits, she is based off of the Alita 1 design. So, there's not a ton of retooling on her, I think. I think it's just a little bit on the backpack and the new head. However, I like the Alita 1. I do. I think it's a fun-looking design. But my God, does Minerva just wear this look a lot better.
See, I didn't like the Alita 1 toy that much. I thought it was okay, but I think Minerva looks 1,000 times better.
I think she looks really good. She's got a bit more paint apps as well here and there. No, 10 out of 10, no notes. I really like her.
I will say that it looks like I was right, because when we were theorizing that will it be a Titan Master, it looks like it's not going to be a Titan Master.
No, it's not. But it is a really nice face sculpt, which I will accept over not having a Titan. I saw this one person got really annoyed over it, and I was just like, I don't I can
understand why.
Yeah, I get it, but I don't personally share that feeling.
Sure.
But no, I think it's a really solid looking retool.
All right, Legends Nightbeat version when?
Yes, please.
Don't make him don't make the male version of Nightbeat. It needs to be the female version.
Preferably with a detective jacket.
Hey, Mikey, if they're not going to give you a fucking dog, there's no way they're going to give you a detective in a bikini.
Yeah, no, a little, but that would be it. It comes with Legends Night. It comes in the Legends Nightbeat colors, but then also comes with just this little tiny 3 3/4 inch figure of the human version, and it's just a retooled G.I. Joe figure in a bikini and a jacket. And
that'd be fun.
She has a hat as well sometimes. But no, I'm into this. Cool. You're talking to a guy who nearly pre-ordered the Masterpiece Nightbird solely on the fact she came with a face referencing the Legends comic. I am a lost cause. Next up, we have more leaks. These are a bit more interesting. So these are for Legacy Year 2 and Velocitron Wave 2. So according to the leaks, things are going to get a bit more interesting in Year 2, from my perspective. So the leaks for Legacy Year 2 are Voyager Lio Convoy. I'm not calling it what they have here.
What they call it there?
They're called it the wrong name. It's Lio Convoy. We're moving on. And so
no, I actually want to know. Oh, Leo Prime. Ugh.
Yeah. So Voyager Lio Convoy, that would have to be a new mold.
Yes. Well,
assuming we don't pull an Alphatron.
Can we not make him from G1 Optimus Prime, Mikey, or from Laser Optimus Prime?
I don't think if you wanted it to look right at Voyager scale, I don't think the only thing I think you could use would be Tigatron, but
did you say make it look right like they did with Transformers Prime RC and Bulkhead?
The Beast Wars guys looked fine. I'm assuming it'll follow the Beast Wars aesthetic. I suppose you got a weird based on a running gag. You have a repaint in Prowl. So you can do that into Prowl again if you want, and then you got Black Lio Convoy and Flash and everything else. Oh, Galva Lio Convoy, do that. That's a really good one. This is one that could set everyone set the internet aflame. Voyager Tarn, which there's always been a weird conversation about Tarn getting an official toy, which is like you can't do it because the DJD are torturers.
Why?
Because the rest turn into like murder chairs and everything else. And they're like, yeah, but Tarn turns into a tank.
Yeah. You could, I mean, if you wanted, you could give them like fun toy modes. Because let's be fair, like you don't, a kid would they don't care like if it transforms into a torture chair. They don't want a transformer turning into a chair because it's lame.
Yeah.
They don't know that it's about torture and it's kind of mean. They just don't want a boring transformers. And I think you could give them alternate modes.
Absolutely. Plus, Tarn's been in Cyberverse, which means he's been on a medium children were watching. He wasn't the nicest guy in it, but yeah, Tarn. I'm certainly really, I love Tarn. Tarn's one of my favorite characters from the last 10 years or so. So, I think it, as long as it's good, and I suppose with Tarn, there's very little to do to make the design is already G1.
Yes,
but I like. Similar to Blur, it's like cool. Blur, IDW Blur, it's a good design. IDW Tarn, it's a good design. Don't fuck it up. So I mean, you're not as into the comics as I am, but I mean, Tarn aesthetically, would you be into it?
It'd be interesting to see like a mainline toy for him and what they do. Sure, I'd be into that.
Because the only toys to do that kit.
Yeah, because the only thing we've really seen is like Flame Toys do it, and then third parties do that stuff. So it'd be interesting to see what the main line would do. Would they give him a new mold, or would they screw him and give him like, he's not the main figure, he's like the basic figure that we're using, and there's he's based off another figure,
I like to think of like he's actually a retool of War for Cybertron Siege Megatron.
He's a redo of Warpath or something like that.
God. Oh, that would be so fucking insulting.
Yeah, it would be. And don't say it can't happen. We've seen it. We see it happen frequently. So don't say it couldn't happen.
But speaking of things that I should be excited about and really aren't, Leader Prime Skyquake.
Oh,
I really like Skyquake's design in Prime, and I really like his colors. Skyquake's awesome.
He's not my Skyquake, but he was okay. I liked Skyquake in the show.
And then he got redone into Dreadwing, who was the main character. And
he was actually a character because, unfortunately,
Skyquake got it off.
Skyquake was not. He was there for one episode and not even the full episode.
You could use, so you could do this figure, Leader Prime Skyquake. Okay, you've got Dreadwing repaint. You've even got a zombie Skyquake repaint.
Yeah, if you wanted to be lame, you could do that. Yeah.
But I'm just sitting here going like, how are you going to fuck this up? What are you going to do to him, making him more G1 to annoy me? Like, the face won't survive. I don't see the proportions of the lower legs of the arms surviving. I definitely don't see the shape of the torso surviving. So we're going to get a generic green jet that you tell me is Prime Skyquake? That someone's going to then do like, oh, it's Dreadwind, but, G1 Dreadwind. My bitterness aside, next one up is Leader Armada Megatron. That would have to be a new mold because there's.
Oh, that one could be out of town.
Yeah, they tried that in Combiner Wars. It didn't quite work.
Or do the other way around, whichever way.
Yeah.
Him out of town, a town out of him. Yeah, I can see that maybe being the case.
Yeah. How would they justify the leader price point on him though?
Oh, who fucking knows? Oh yeah, they are different. They are different scales, aren't they? Yeah, so it would have to be different. Be interested to see if we get the final revival of the Armada Prime.
If
they're doing Armada Megatron, why wouldn't they do Armada Prime at this point?
I mean, I would,
especially since the mold's. Well, I say they do it because the mold's done, but then again, they didn't do animated Blackout over here. They didn't do the Super Megatron from animated either, so it does happen even when the molds are finished, I suppose.
True. I suppose we don't have a Commander class figure announced for this.
I guess, yeah, that's a fair point.
It would, it wouldn't be the worst idea in the world. I've seen people saying they want the Commander now for combiners, and I think while I think Menasor is the best combiner we've had in years, I don't want to just limit the Commander class to, hey, we're trying to fill out your combiner roster.
Well, as was said before, we're not sure how you do the rest of them because Metasaur has that fancy thing of being a truck and trailer. So it's got that part that can become the body and torso. How do you do that with Onslaught and Defensor and all those guys? I don't know. Is it possible? Sure, it's possible. I just can't conceive of how they do it.
Next figure caught me off guard. Core Sludge. So small scale Dinobots?
Yeah, why?
I don't know. Like,
I see why, but then again, they're doing like all of the basic G1 characters, aren't they? So I guess it makes sense. Is it just why Sludge and not Grimlock?
Yeah, like it's a weird one to seem to lead with, you know?
Yeah.
Same class, we also have Slug, but Deluxe Needle Nose, I would be excited for that because that would convince me to buy Trax. Because I like what John did with them, and
I just get Needle Nose. So.
Yeah, I know Trax is supposed to be a pretty bad toy, though. That's the thing.
Is he?
Oh yeah, like no one says anything nice about him.
Well, Needle Nose would have to be a new mold because he's a jet. So,
is there a Deluxe Jet?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think there is actually in like the last 3 or 4 years. Deluxe Hotshot.
Well, Armada.
I'm assuming so.
Okay.
Cool. There was a retool of Hound into Hotshot, but I suppose this would have to be new.
We did get an Armada Hotshot years ago.
Universe in 2008. That was that was a flawed figure. I really wanted to like it at the time, but it was flawed. That backpack
better than the original version.
Oh, much better. But the backpack drove me nuts.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Junkion 1.
Oh, good.
Road Rocket or RC. You could retool those.
I guess. Yeah, that could happen.
Core Sound Blaster. Pretty obvious.
Mm-hmm.
So Velocitron Wave 2. Again, at least 2 of these I'm interested in.
Oh, that's good.
Deluxe Shadow Striker.
Mm-hmm. How are they going to screw her?
How are they going to screw her? You shouldn't have to. Like, she's not that far from a G1 design.
How are they going to screw her, Mikey?
They're going to screw her. They're going to give her they give her 2 eyes.
Oh, that'd be sad.
Oh, because the thing is, like, what I would really want is even if you're going to G1ify the Cyberverse design with the asymmetry.
I don't think they're going to give it asymmetry.
No, they're not. They're going to follow the IDW2 version, which is just kind of a generic car.
Yeah.
But I love Shadow Striker from Cyberverse, so I've got to appreciate this. Deluxe Crasher.
I mean, we know what that is. That's just a repaint of Mirage.
Yeah. But then I'm just thinking, like, because like
actually, it's probably not. You know, it's probably not a repaint of Mirage. It's probably a repaint of Leadfoot from that 2-pack. Because they're probably not going to give her the cartoon face. They're probably going to give her the toy face, right?
Yeah, you're right. That
might be the case.
I think that's what they did. Because Crash is in IDW2 as well, and I think that's what they did with her. Hang on, I'm going to check that.
Then they're not. I don't think they're going to give her the Crasher that people want, which is the Crasher from the cartoon
with that
series.
Freaky head. I love that freaky head of hers.
With the cool face, with the stiletto mask and the lipstick that people love. Nah, they're going to give her the toy face.
So yeah, in IDW2 she's got the toy face. There should be a mention of something.
I wonder if that's like legal reasons because Hanna-Barbera, whoever owns their rights, probably like they can make Crasher toys, but it has to be toy version rather than Hanna-Barbera accurate is what I would guess. I could be wrong though.
Maybe. All I can think about is that I still never got to pick up that Machine Robo toy with the cycle faces.
Oh yeah. There was a few different really cool I was going to say Crashers, a few different cycle toys that were really neat.
But I always thought that was really cool. They just went that little extra mile and said, "Listen, we're just gonna, we know why some people are buying this."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Voyager Hot Rods.
Oh, good, Hot Rod, cool.
Studio Series reissue.
Well, it's going to be cheaper than the leader, the Supreme Commander version. Yeah, it's probably a redo of, like you say, the 86 version that came out. Maybe they'll do them pink. Maybe that's the idea.
Maybe. I'm just, even if they did a new mold, like unless they did like a new design or more than meets the eye hot rod or something. I can't think of anything you could do.
I purely say I doubt it because the Velocitron series feels like it's the repaint line with a random new figure in there.
Yeah. And LDR2, which is just a leader. So there's going to be another leader figure in there.
Oh.
Cool. And Project TG2, possibly the Maverick reissue for collaborative.
Oh no.
Top Gun 2.
No, but it was so bad. No one liked that figure. As far as I know.
A year after the movie comes out, that's when you really want to draw attention to this.
You should have got it out for the film, guys.
So no other figures in there that would interest you.
Oh no, not really.
Yeah. So the last bit of news is another collaborative. We have the next collaborative figure, and we have some surprising reissues.
Oh my god!
I have to admit, the reissues are kind of what made me want to put this story in. So we're getting a reissue over here in ye olde Western world of the Street Fighter Transformer 2-packs.
Yeah.
From the crazy era, as I called it, the Titans Return Legends era of lunacy. A wonderful time.
It was, yeah. You didn't know at the time how good it was until it was over.
Boy howdy. Yeah, sorry, you made me sad now. But anyway, so this is Ryu, Bison, Chun-Li, and Ken done out of the Titans Return, Optimus, Megatron, Hot Rod, and the original Generations RC. Do not ask me what their Japanese names. I don't remember what Bison's Japanese name is. I just don't ask me.
It's Balrog.
Balrog. I don't believe you.
No, it's Bison's Vega. Bison's Vega. And Bison in Japan was what's the boxer called? The boxer was Balrog, wasn't it? Yeah. He was called Bison because he was meant to be a famous boxer guy. He was meant to be Mike Tyson.
So M Bison, Mike Bison.
Yeah.
I wonder why I got switched over here.
I don't know. And
what was Vega's name?
What was Vega's name? I think Vega's name was Balrog. I'm pretty sure. I think it was just those three that they just kind of switched around effectively for some reason. Yeah, Bison was Vega.
And the last one is a Tonka Transformers Collaborative Tonka mashup, Tonkanator.
Jeez.
So this is a G1 Devastator, presumably the most recent reissue, repainted into yellow with black instead of yellow with purple. So it's basically kind of like G2, but not. And it's an Autobot combiner Tonka truck made up of Megadozer, Power Digger, Motorload, Skyhook, Mega Hauler, and Motor Mix. Now, I do not know if any of them represent anything. And they combine to form the mighty Tonkanator.
I hate the name.
I do hate the name, especially since it's coming Tonkastator.
Oh, that's a little better. It's still kind of cringe, but it's a little better.
It is. I think it looks good.
I think it looks like a more kiddie version of the G2 Devastator.
Yes, I think that's fair. But which it's Tonka, so
it makes sense.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like a Tonka logos and everything else all over it. But it's quite dear. I think it's like over $100 because
I guess that makes sense because reissue like combiner teams usually about over $100 at this point.
Plus Tonka licensing.
Yeah.
But yeah,
the heroic Tonka bots with their horrifying red eyes.
They have seen many things. They've just been out in the sun too long, Andy. But while no one's talking about the Street Fighter thing, but I think it's fucking fantastic that's being reissued.
It's nice. It's very much like oh god, I forgot how weird this was. Yeah. And it is super weird.
Oh, it's super weird. It's also like 3 good moles and Hot Rod.
Yeah.
But like the Optimus and Megatron, I had them for many years. They are good molds.
Mm-hmm.
And the Optimus doesn't have those fucking stickers. And
no,
Megatron
it doesn't
have those fucking stickers.
Yeah, granted, it's got flesh faces, which is weird.
But it's fine because it's fine, Andy. Don't ruin this for me. But any other thoughts on these?
I don't really know why this is happening.
No, especially like the crossover thing is like okay, cool, but whatever. But I do not get what the Street Fighter thing is.
No, that just seems to be like, again, like you say, Tonka. Yeah, that makes sense. It's with Tonka. I don't know why they're doing the crossover with Tonka, regardless. But why they're doing it with Street Fighter, and why they're effective? Do they just have like a load of extra stock of the Street Fighter figures in like a back of a like warehouse, and they went, oh, okay, well, shit, we'll just throw them out.
Very possible.
Maybe.
Would you like the prices?
No.
So $105 for
No.
Tonkanator.
No.
$75 for the Ken and Chun-Li set.
I guess that's
again,
reasonable. I guess
once you factor in licensing and stuff, and for a deluxe, that's 2 deluxes though.
Are they more expensive than when they were put out originally? That's the question, and I don't expect you to know off the top of your head.
No, but I would say like consider that with import and everything else, probably not.
Yeah, you think?
And customs and whatnot.
Right.
But and 113 for the Ryu and Bison. I would like one of these. I don't think I'll be able to afford one anytime soon because there's a toy line that's after releasing something that I really fucking want. But I've got to try and wait like until next month before I can pay for it. And it ain't going to be cheap. But this is really cool. I love these. I'm sorry. They're ridiculous, especially the Ryu, but I love them. So yeah, that's the news, Andy.
Yay! We got it. We did it, Mikey. I guess we can move on to Mikey. What you been up to this past 2 weeks? What you done for fun, son?
Okay. So what did I do this last couple of weeks, actually? So I was away last weekend, and I ended up watching some stuff with friends.
Oh my god!
So ended up rewatching No Way Home.
Was it good second time viewing?
I think it did get worse second time viewing. Partly because they didn't enjoy it because they're not really into Marvel stuff, but they were the ones who said put it on.
I was going to say, why did they want to watch it if they weren't into Marvel stuff? That's weird.
But it was a Marvel night. We ended up watching a couple. But
that feels like you saying, "Yeah, let's watch Thor."
We're gonna watch Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
It's still good. It's still got some really great bits, but like the action scenes haven't. Once you're past the nostalgia factor and everything, the action scenes aren't amazing or anything like that.
I can believe that.
And sometimes it is a bit too much. Hey, we remember. But
I could believe that. Yeah.
For a Marvel movie in the modern era, like it was still like a great experience to watch again. Which, like it basically kind of dropped from a 9 to a 7. Which I am harsh on Marvel movies. So a 7 is an excellent mark. The other one we watched is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Oh.
So very, very Sam Raimi is what I'm going to say.
I have heard it is Sam Raimi constrained by Disney because it's like bits of Sam Raimi.
Not at the tail end. It starts off not very Sam Raimi, and then it gets incredibly Sam Raimi in the second half to the film's detriment.
Okay.
Like him going full Sam Raimi didn't help it. Basic plot line is Doctor Strange is pining after his girlfriend who just got married, his ex, and
who he hasn't talked about since the very first movie.
And then people talking about how sort of referencing was it us getting wiped out and everything else, was it the only way we could have been, and like his whole like of all the millions of chances it was the one option. There's a bit of talk about that, and then he meets a girl who is popping between realities because she's being chased by a monster. No great spoiler now because it's been a while and everyone knows it. It's the Scarlet Witch, and she's trying to resurrect the family she had in the TV show.
Which you haven't seen, right?
No, but she's basically trying to find a way to use a multiverse. The girl take her multiverse powers and use it to hijack another Wanda's body, because apparently in every reality but hers, those children exist. It seems improbable just given the odds, but
and how multiverses would work, the odds of that being the case.
They go through the multiverse and she chases after them, and there's a big fight at the end, but not a big fight at the end also. So I've got to say, the direction is good for the most part. It's Raimi. He uses some very creative camera angles. He uses some very creative shots. A lot of it feels very late 90s, early 2000s in how it's filmed. He's a lot more creative with the actual magic than the original Doctor Strange. There's a lot wider variety of powers.
I hear that there's not a lot of consistency with what magic can and can't do.
No,
like it
there's
can just
no
do
consistency.
everything or nothing.
The only consistency is whatever you're doing, Scarlet Witch will eventually get through it.
Right. But I mean, like some of the powers that I hear that some of the powers he uses in the film would be really useful to use, and they're just never used. Like the sling ring basically breaks the movie, so they just forget about it. Yeah,
they don't use. He gets it taken off him, and then it's never brought up again, despite the fact he's hanging out with the person who took it off him.
Yeah.
It's America Chavez, I don't think her powers in the comic are multiverse related, but I know almost nothing about her, so I can't comment. I'm assuming with the name America, she's somehow connected to Captain America. But
I don't think that's so.
If I Google her and she's got a Star and Garter outfit,
she'll probably have some kind of Americana symbolism on her, I would imagine.
Which means that she'll be tied somehow to Captain America. Because they all are.
They both live in America?
Iron Patriot.
Okay.
Is tied to Captain America. So everyone who went with that look, you can't. It's copyright.
Yeah.
Captain America has the copyright in that look. He's suing.
Oh my god.
That's the comic. She-Hulk has to defend Captain America and America Chavez at the same time in a court where one's attacking the other.
I don't know if you're telling the truth or if this is bullshit.
Don't know. New She-Hulk comic is very good.
Okay.
Also fantastic art. But so it basically ends up in a kind of confrontation. So what works about this movie is when Raimi is a bit constrained but still getting to play, good filming work, very visual and creative. There's a quite interesting fight scene with music notes. When at the tail end of the movie he decides he wants to go more horror based and basically kind of go full Raimi, I think it pulls the movie down because those scenes go on way too fucking long, because they are pretty lengthy scenes of nothing really happening except like weird camera angles and zooming in faces and a bit of body gore. For me, the people I was watching it with said they liked it. I said like it's become style over substance. However, it was well done style. It has to be said, it was style. It just there wasn't much meaning to it. There isn't a big hyper action fight at the end of this, which I feel is a bit of a detriment. Now, I'm usually not a big fan of those, but one thing I like, Wanda is supposed to be super powerful in this, and Wanda, she is in comics and stuff, but you know who else is supposed to be super powerful? Doctor Strange. You know who she never fights in the whole movie? Like directly, here's a confrontation between... She never fights Doctor Strange.
She does fight the Sorcerer Supreme, though, doesn't she?
Not really.
No, she does. Because who's the Sorcerer Supreme in the movie, Mikey?
And when I say not really, Andy, I mean not really. Wong is there. Wong is there a fair bit, but he doesn't do much. Like the closest
I think it's so lame that he's like Wong's the Sorcerer Supreme. I don't like that it's a gag. No, it's like stop. Like use it, but don't make it a gag. Don't. Like running gag is like you're supposed to bow to the Sorcerer Supreme, and at the end, Doctor Strange bows. And I was just like, cool. But like, there's a 20-second, 30-second fight scene between Wanda and Stephen Strange in the middle of the movie. Okay. They do have confrontations, but that's the only fight scene. And I was just thinking, like, Stephen Strange is ridiculously powerful himself. So surely, for all the times you've had inappropriate big CGI fights, with Raimi's direction and everything else, this is the time to have a CGI fight. Like, it doesn't have to be your big centerpiece, but you need at least, like, these two confronted him. And, like, because they have a bit where, like, her powers can't get through something, so she has to think outside the box, which I thought was good. And it's like, why don't you do that? She fights him. Oh, I can't guarantee a win, so I've got to use my powers in a creative way. Why didn't you do that? Another criticism, I would say, is the fact that Stephen's not really needed for this film. It's America and Wanda, really, at the end of it. Yeah, I heard an issue with the film is it's not about him, really. It's not, which is weird. Like, don't call it Doctor Strange then. Just call it the Multiverse of Madness. Well, that America or Scarlet Witch.
or something.
That's a lot of like Marvel products though at the moment, or at least Disney products, because
It's-
Kenobi wasn't about Kenobi either. So
Yeah, like which you get from what I hear, Kenobi was kind of like, why didn't you just give her own show, and then give him his own show, and then have two shows instead of one?
Because they wanted to bank on Kenobi. That's why
It's
they want to bank on Doctor Strange.
With those, I would bank on the Marvel license and the Star Wars license if it was me, but I don't know. But
Marketing teams, yeah.
it wasn't like didn't America and Wanda have a fight? It wasn't a super satisfying one for me. Just because it was like Wanda's so overpowered at the end of it relative to everyone else. But yeah, it was a weird thing that the movie. Like, I don't think the movie seems to want at the end for Wanda to be sympathetic, and I think she is at the very end. But I think for most of the movie, she's super evil, a bit too evil. I think they took it too far, because like when you actually think about it, what she's risking, what she wants, is incredibly fucking petty. Like, and before someone says like it's her children, yeah,
It's not hers.
Not her children. They don't exist. She made
She's
them
a
up.
monster.
Yeah, which they call her. Also, oh my god, the two worst child actors I've seen in years. The two sons are absolute, and they are given the most ridiculous like 1950s giddy lines, and it's I know.
Are they worse than Master Skywalker?
Yes,
you know that kid from the third movie.
Yes.
Oh wow, that's impressive because he was really bad.
They're really bad.
No.
I'm being critical in tail end, but I think there's enough. Like, I like this more than other Marvel movies I've seen.
Okay.
I think it is the visual element of it more than anything else.
Okay, so you like the spectacle kind of thing, the artistic styling.
But then, like I said, at the end, it gets too much into that. He got out of control. Like, I feel like that, like you needed more of a Disney hand on it at the end, saying like, "Listen, too much." I'd say it's a 5. Again, for how I rate Marvel movies, a 5 ain't bad. But as a movie, it's an average experience. I would be very curious to see what this would have been originally, because Wanda was added midway into production.
Yeah, so I hear, yeah.
So I was very curious, what was the Multiverse of Madness originally?
Yeah.
Because I can't imagine this movie without Wanda, which means they must have had a very, very different script.
I'm guessing it was just like Strange cleaning up the crap and maybe fighting the evil version of himself. Maybe that was it.
But yeah, I think they should have done more of that, to be honest. He's in it. Evil Strange is in it, but not enough. But what else did I do? Watched the first episode of Wheel of Time, which is based on a book. So they again,
it's Amazon's show, isn't it?
Amazon, yeah. I don't have Amazon, so I didn't watch it. And then the friends were like, "We've got Amazon. We're putting this on." They have every streaming service. I think it's insane.
Oh my god, they must be spending so much money.
They have Apple.
But you said there was nothing on Apple.
There isn't. There's
enough.
Why? There's enough on Apple for that 7-day week, free trial thing. There's not enough after. They just said they were getting all of it.
Wow. All right.
It's a like high fantasy kind of thing. What it did make me want to do is read the books. Like I won't go into the stories or anything because it's just like unremarkable for 2 episodes I've seen. But if you've seen a high fantasy story about with a dark force and gathering for a quest and all that jazz, but yeah. So when I got home, what did I do? PlayStation Plus has updated with the new structure, which has a lot more games for streaming, download, and stuff like that.
All right.
Kind of merged Plus and Now. And they've added a bunch of new games, including a couple I was really interested in. One is Maneater, which is a very
that's an old one.
It's 2 or 3 years old now.
Oh, sorry, I'm thinking of Manhunt. Sorry, not Maneater.
This is Maneater, where you play as a great white shark.
That's right.
A slowly mutating great white shark. Looks
that
ridiculous.
Was the first game Gura played, I think.
The one she got annoyed because she couldn't actually play it well, and then I think she came back to it later on.
All right.
Yeah, it's really campy, but it's a riot. It's an open world shark game, and it's not trying to be anything more. And now the big one for that, because I got a bunch. I haven't even looked at what they are, like a bunch of anime games and everything else, of course, and even like Buzz Lightyear PS1 game. Do you remember that?
The what? Sorry,
the PS1 game for Toy Story 2.
No, I don't.
I remember it. I had the demo on Official PlayStation Magazine, and I was just like, I'm gonna play this, and it's like, oh my god, it's so bad. It's so bad. Oh, movie license games, you fickle bitch. But the one that I was super interested to try is Miles Morales Spider-Man.
Oh, the DLC, basically. The
Yes, which
1.5 version of Spider-Man.
Yes, which, as you and I know, was being sold at full price.
It was. It was.
And I, as someone who fucking adores the first game, which they also have on there, which I'm thinking of downloading to replay because they also have the DLC, which I haven't played. But again, someone who fucking loved the original and thinks the creators behind this are probably the best, made the best Spider-Man movie that wasn't Spider-Verse.
I was going to say, ooh, hang on, Mikey.
Yeah. I was super excited to play Miles Morales, and then I saw the price. So I got it as part of my PS Plus, which basically means I did not pay anything for it. And yeah, no, I'm not far into it, but it's playing like the original Spider-Man game, and that is a real big plus. Story seems kind of interesting. It's kind of like Miles developing his own identity, because he's starting off in like a basic version of Peter's suit, and obviously he's going to move into the black suit at some point. And also, I haven't got it yet, but there's a costume in it which gives you the Spider-Verse suit, but with the frame rate, which I think could get really annoying, but I'm going to try it out because it's Spider-Verse. And you can like keep the suit and take off the frame rate if you need to, because it's an upgrade power. Which is something, again, a really good thing about that game. Hey, do you like a suit but you don't like the power? You can take the power off and give it to someone else. Because because that game is made by people with a soul. So really, really happy to be able to play that. Like super, super happy. I've been wanting to, and I just could not justify spending €70 on it.
That's fair.
Right.
I could understand that.
Yeah. So we'll finish it and let you know, see it as a extended DLC, how it stands up. TV wise, it's mostly anime this week. I've basically completed a couple of my catch-ups. So I'm up to date in Digimon.
All right.
And I'm up to date on Spy Family. Spy Family has officially ended its first part. It won't be back again until October. Andy, please watch Spy Family.
No.
Watch the show, or I will come to your house and sell you online.
I'm watching Stargate.
You can watch this as well.
No, I'm doing one episode a night of Stargate.
Great. Do an episode of Spy Family with it. It's 12 nights. You
No,
don't sleep anyway.
No, I do. I need to sleep. I really like sleeping.
No, you don't. Watch the fucking show. It's so fucking good.
I will.
I will say, very clearly they were at one point planning for this to be a straight 2-core show with no break. Because the ending is kind of like ReZero's ending, and it just ends.
Oh no!
But it's like a standalone episode at least.
Yeah.
Not like ReZero's, where it ends mid-plot. But yeah, so oh man, Spy Family's so good, Andy. The animation's incredible.
Yeah, people are saying lots of good stuff about it, which I'm not shocked by. It looked good. I did want to see it. I've still got it on the list of things to watch.
Yeah. Oh man, it's so pretty, and it's so funny, and I laugh so much, and I love all the characters, and it gets emotional sometimes. And that is the largest 6-year-old I've ever seen in my life. There is a very big 6-year-old with the deepest voice of, like, he has the shirtless, muscle-bound character voice.
Oh yeah.
But he's 6, and he's about 7 foot tall. And then you see him next to his dad, and his dad is relative to him what an adult male is to a 6-year-old, which means his dad must be like a T-Rex. But man, I love it. Great show. Digimon, actually, I would say 3-week episodes for a catch-up. Definitely felt like the budget was cut on this. The action was below par. I didn't find the stories completely compelling. But hey, it's not really dulling my feeling of the show. Like, that's 3-week episodes out of 25 or so. So I'm still pretty happy. But they've got 2 Ultimate forms. Obviously, they need to introduce one more, and then please get an overarching plot going. I really like your standalone episodes, but I don't know how you're going to drag this out for another 20 to 30 more episodes. The way
they'll find a way. They'll find a way.
But then they'll kill it, and I'll be annoyed. I'll be like, I was enjoying this. Yeah, so in terms of anime catch up, I'm all caught up on those. It's just Shield Hero. So that's wrapped up as well this week. So I just have to watch 8 episodes. So we're going to see if my theory that basically it's going to be a lot better in this run because clearly canonical filler. So what else? There was something. Oh, this is a bit of a weird one. Did you hear about Ruby Ice Queendom?
I remember you sent me. No, I think I saw you tweet something about Ruby. I didn't pay too much attention about it because I'm not a Ruby guy. But
yeah, so I am a huge fan of Ruby. The trailer for Volume 9 came out. Yes, Nerd Andy, well done. The trailer for Volume 9 came out. I was mildly terrified, but I did check, and all the writers are the same, and I think the showrunner is the same. So I don't think this is going to get genlocked. Because boy howdy, am I traumatized by what they did to genlock.
I remember you not being too happy by the end of that show.
It was one of the worst seasons of a show I've ever seen in my life. And how you do that when you had such a good product originally, I do not understand.
Wow.
And why would you think adding full frontal nudity would fix your show?
People like boobs, Mikey.
They didn't do boobs well.
Oh
man. But yeah, so Ice Queendom. It was announced there a while ago. I wasn't really paying attention to it. It's an anime reboot of Ruby. I was going to say adaptation, but that's not quite right. So it's going to develop its own story in some ways, but it is, at least early on, retelling the story of Ruby more from the point of view of the character Weiss, who is one of the Ruby girls, but she doesn't get a huge amount to do until later. I would say later seasons. She's prominent, but she's like secondary in comparison to the others. But here it's kind of from her Ice Queendom. She's associated with ice and being an ice queen and stuff like that. So episodes 1 to 3 are out. They actually got released early before the Japanese airing. And they're basically all of Volume 1. So all the first season in those 3 episodes. Story-wise, it is kind of like rushing through it. It's taking out bits. It's not changing a ton, but it is adding in more elements. Like there's a few characters that weren't there.
When you say it's rushing, is that in a good way or in a bad way? Like, are they cutting stuff that should be cut or could be cut and it not affect it too much? Or is it cutting stuff that's making the pace feel bad?
I would lean towards cutting stuff that you can get away with cutting.
Okay. That's fine.
They're also adding...
That's Dragon Ball Kai then, which is good.
Yeah. They're also adding in a few new scenes and stuff to expand some character moments.
Alright.
But like, there's 1 or 2 scenes like with the character Jean, I think they could have kept in, but it's not a huge loss. So story-wise, it is basically Ruby Season 1 so far. With like, it looks like it's going to start going off in its own direction soon. But so if you liked Ruby Season 1, I think it had some good elements. I think it was also very much Season 1. However, the big thing about Ruby Season 1 is that even if you thought the story was great, it's sometimes really hard to get people to watch it because early Rooster Teeth animation. Carried by excellent fight choreography, but early Rooster Teeth animation. This is not early Rooster Teeth animation. I do not remember the studio's name off the top of my head, but they're fairly experienced. They've done a fair few shows. But what stood out to me of the shows they did, they animated the Monogatari series.
Oh, okay, wow.
Which look incredible.
Yeah.
Which are also, like, I think are just incredible shows. But in terms of visuals, are some of my all-time favorite looking shows. And while like the main sort of chatty elements of this are not like remarkable in terms of how they do the visuals, when this show goes into action, how do I put this in a way you'd understand?
You idiot, Andy.
You small monkey man. I would say the action is comparable to Studio Wit or the Fate Grand Order series.
Okay. It's
excellent. It's like blow your mind, kind of like, wow, there's a fucking budget here.
Yeah.
So like, it's basically the first volume of Ruby with like top fucking notch action scenes. Like, the only thing I would say doesn't stand up in comparison to the first volume in terms of the action is the music, like the actual action soundtrack. It's a bit more like generic anime when it doesn't have that rock element to it.
Right.
Just like forget about like lyrics or anything like that, just the music itself. Also, I think you can see like for some of it, they don't have quite the fight choreography that Monty brought to Ruby, but I would say it's worth watching. It's up on YouTube. It's worth watching for those action scenes, especially the first one. It just exceptionally high quality. Just kind of shocked me. And yeah, I think that's everything of note from me. Read a few comics. Nothing I really feel like diving into, but yeah. Andy, what about you?
Okay, so Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak came out, the big expansion for for Monster Hunter Rise. So I've been playing a bit of that on stream. I'm still really too early game to get into the really interesting points of the game, but it's a good start to Monster Hunter Rise, which I did enjoy. But like I say, a little bit too early to really talk about any of the super duper new things of it. Have you played Hollow Cure, Mikey?
I have been watching a lot of people play Hollow Cure.
Yeah, I played some Hollow Cure as well. That's fun.
Yeah, it's basically, what is it? Vampire Warriors or whatever it is?
Vampire Survivor.
Vampire Survivor.
Vampire Survivor also only being like £2, which I'm thinking about picking up because it's like, well, it's £2. Why not? But yeah, I've been playing Hollow Cure, which is Vampire Survivor, but with the Hollow Live girls. And it's very much kind of a turn your brain off kind of game. Kind of fun to play with. I haven't unlocked everybody yet, but I like that they've got future updates coming out. So they've got all of the English team, and they're going to be adding in gamers, the gamer line, so Corone and OKU and all those guys, and more of them later on. But yeah, it's fun. So I don't. The best thing to do is watch Vampire Survivor or Hollow Cure, and then you can get a good idea of how it works. I find Mume to be incredibly OP. Mume is very, very, very powerful. So it's quite fun. What else have I been up to? Because Steam sale's gone on, I also picked up Ghostwire Tokyo, or Tokyo Ghostwire. Have you heard of that, Mikey?
Yes. I haven't played it, but I've heard of it.
Yeah, I thought it looked neat and interesting. And for like £25, I was like, yeah, half price, sure, why not? We'll go for it. Got Zone of the Enders 2 because it was on sale for like £5, and I've never played Zone of the Enders 2. I played the first one. Yeah, it's always been the one I've meant to play because I hear it's Zone of the Enders 1, but way better. And I liked Zone of the Enders 1 quite a bit. So I've got that now. I hear it's actually a good port as well, or a good re-release of the game. I hear there was a previous re-release on like the PlayStation 3 or something, which was pretty shit. But the one on the PC is apparently quite good. Valkyria Chronicles 4. I like Valkyria Chronicles 1. That's a fantastic game. 2 and 3 are PSP, so can't play them. I don't know about 4. Do you know if 4 is any good, Mikey? I hear good things about 4.
I think it's the only one that's not like concurrent or a prequel or something like that. It's like the first proper sequel.
I heard that as well, yeah.
Yeah, because I know I played 2, and that's concurrent. I played 3, I think that's a prequel.
Oh, you actually played the PSP ones? Goddamn.
They were on something at one point. But I haven't played 4. I heard the reviews weren't as good as 1, but 1 is the best reviewed out of the whole kit and caboodle.
Yeah, I think it's because it's like they don't really do anything super new with them. So it's probably just like diminishing returns kind of reviews, maybe, potentially. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I also got Rogue Legacy 2. I liked Rogue Legacy 1. Roguelike game, you go through a castle. You get random character roles, so you might have a hereditary problem, like you might be colorblind, or you might be upside down, you might be really fat and can't jump, etc., etc. I really liked the first one. Second one finally came out of early access, and it was on sale, and I went, yeah, sure, I'll get that as well. And the only other stuff I got, my pre-orders in from ages ago, so I got Crocmaster, and I also got Storm Shadow from the
Crocmaster. I've seen a lot of Crocmaster this week.
Yeah, I like Crocmaster. He's stupid. The idea of a guy in it.
I was going to say with Fiona, right?
With Fiona and the 2 baby crocodiles as well. I like the idea of a terrorist organization, with guns and tanks and everything. Oh yeah, I've got a guy who's really good with crocodiles and alligators. When is that ever useful? It doesn't matter though. He's a very cool figure. If you've had one classified figure, it's just more of the same, really. The hip joints are a bit weird and can be a little bit stiff and scary, and I still need some shock oil to go in there to make them move a little bit better. I still haven't really bought any, but yeah, I'm enjoying them. And I was before I forget, I was gonna talk about the Hasbro, the HasLab His Tank fundraiser thingamabob, which has got fully backed. It's already done. It's already hitting lots of its tier goals. I think it's very cool because this is going to be a very big tank. It's the iconic His Tank from G.I. Joe, but scaled up to be in the 6-inch scaled figures line. So it's going to be pretty big. So I love the His Tank. I think it's very cool. The cool thing about it, it's getting made. It looks really good. It comes with a driver. Lots of goals are being met, so it's coming with lots of extra stuff. It's got lights, which I find a bit redundant, but okay. My issue with it is, why is it a HasLab thing? It's not like Unicron, and it's not like Star Saber in the fact that you will, if you get one, you will get one, right?
Yeah.
With a His Tank, people are dumb. Collectors are stupid. I've seen multiple people saying, I want 5 His Tanks. And they are buying 5 His Tanks, and these are about $300 each. I don't see why you couldn't have put these in stores, because people would have bought them, and scalpers would have bought a load of them. Unicron, I get it. If someone's going to buy a Unicron, you're going to get one Unicron, and that's really expensive. That's more $600. Star Saber, that's about $300, wasn't it? Something like that.
Yeah, about that. I'm just looking at
and again, you're going to get one Star Saber. You're not going to get more than that. One customer is more than likely stupid and going to buy 2 or 3 or more because people want to army build.
Yeah,
this is it's the iconic tank.
Yeah,
I don't think this is a vehicle that you had to do a fundraiser for. I think especially with I think the classified line generally across the board has done very well in America where they've released it. I think it's been quite hard for some people to get some of the figures, especially at the start when they first came out. I again don't see any reason why you couldn't have had this vehicle on shelves and not as a fundraiser.
Okay, so I'm going to play devil's advocate. Okay.
Sure.
Okay. So this is a little outside the norm for G.I. Joe in at least terms of scale.
In terms of what? Because it's going along with the current line. Okay.
Yeah,
you mean
but
just
a vehicle this size is just not common for the G.I. Joe line. Even if it's in scale with light, it's bigger. They're not making a ton of there's not alongside the G.I. Joe classified line, there's not a whole vehicle line with it.
No, this is the first actual vehicle you can get.
It's got electronics and it's got a lot of detail. Now, this is devil advocating because honestly, I think you have a very good point.
The people are stupid and they buy loads. Yeah.
So, do you think just that it's bigger, it's got electronics and whatnot, that would possibly make it more expensive outside the normal retail lines? He said, thinking he's talking a bit of bullshit as he's saying it.
No, because of the amount you could make. I think you could strip out the electronics, get it cheaper that way. Easily. You could easily take those out because we know that they shove in electronics when they 90% of the time don't have to. The electronics consist of cockpit lights, and you remember Spider-Man's belt buckle light?
Yeah.
They've got one of those on the His Tank, so it projects the Cobra logo directly onto the ground in front of the tank, and it's but why? Now, it might be using the same LED, but still, you could take that stuff out. I don't... if you want to make a obscure vehicle, I don't know, one of the later ones which are dumb, one of the more niche vehicles, I get why you'd make that one.
The flag.
No, because the flag would be more than Unicron. It'd be probably 5 times Unicron. Remember, the 3 3/4 inch scale one was like 6 foot or 5 foot.
Andy, do you have a flag?
No. No, because one, it's a G.I. Joe vehicle and screw G.I. Joe because they're boring. And 2, gee, that's so much room.
GI bro.
GI broke because you can't afford anything else. Like the vehicles, I think you could put in stores and they would sell loads of Sky Striker, which is the big jet, the Cobra Rattle, the Cobra Hiss tank, and I don't know what the GI Joe tank is, but you could probably put that in stores as well. Those 4, you could probably easily sell them. Outside of that, like Trouble Bubbles and the Fangs and the other vehicles like that, yeah, okay, I could see maybe them going, but the Hiss. That's like putting Optimus Prime in a fundraiser. It's like you don't. I don't think you have to do that.
But why would you say that? Now they're going to do it.
I don't know.
Next
Special
fundraiser
Optimus
is
Prime.
Next fundraiser is God Jinrai. There you go.
Oh my god. I mean, I could be wrong. It's just I don't know. That's how I felt when I saw it was being fundraised. I was like, there's no way that you couldn't have sold that in stores and made a fuck ton. Because at the very least, scalpers would have absolutely raked people over the coals.
I mean, I think they're doing it now because
they're probably, yeah.
A lot of those people saying they were buying 5.
No, some people I know who are buying 5 are buying them for themselves.
Oh, I believe it, but I guarantee you a lot
There'll
of them
be people
aren't.
buying extras as well. Yeah, I agree, 100%. Now, I think that's everything of value that I got, apart from like hard drives and cables, but that's not really very interesting to talk about, is it? Mikey, do we have any El Comentos?
No, we have remember that we got asked a few weeks ago about dinosaurs and stuff like that. We have a response to that. I won't go into that much because it's quite technical. I'll just say, just accept the fact you're obsessed with the Belosaurs, and that is lowbrow. You're a lowbrow, sir.
Why is that lowbrow?
Lowbrow.
Oh my god! So
cool. You know who's obsessed with the Belosauridea? Losers.
Oh no!
Yeah. You know what they don't have? Elbows.
Why don't they have elbows?
Because they don't. They just have. You know, everyone says T-Rex has the tiny arms.
Yeah.
T-Rex has like muscular arms that could lift about a ton. The Belosaurs basically they have. Kind of imagine a frog leg with no joints, but it's super, 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 super tiny.
Oh, that's really sad.
With 4 little fingers and no elbow joint. They just have They just have like rods that they can just stick out sideways.
Oh.
So all they can do is like T-pose ineffectively.
Oh no.
With their teeny tiny arms. So what you have, picky peeves. What you have is a lack of soul.
Damn.
You're trash. You're dinosaur trash, son. Boy.
That's rough, man.
Whoever you are. Yeah. Actually, I quite like that logic, but too technical. I'm not going to go into it. I know there's more than just a Belosaurus. I swear. Sure you do. Anything on your end?
Let's have a look. We got a pledge, which we didn't thank us for. So we got Thomas Anderson. Thanks very much for signing up to the Patreon and
thank
whatnot.
You.
Yeah, thank you. I'm just having a quick check. I think there was some things I've missed, and I do apologize if I have missed it. I think there was a YouTube comment that I sent you, wasn't there? That we needed to talk about.
Yes, there was. It was about.
I sent it to you because I went, oh please God, I'll forget if I don't do this.
Oh, what was it about? Gundam. It was about Gundam.
Was it Gundam? Okay.
It was Gundam.
I'm switching over to the YouTube comment. Okay, there it is. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Long Gundam related question for Mr. Andy and Mr. Mikey. This is from Kronos, by the way. Hello from YouTube. I've always struggled to get into Gundam. Seed, in brackets, my introduction to the franchise brought me to tears. That's Seed. And while I like some aspects of Tomino's Gundam series, namely shirtless Ja, okay, that's very specific. And I don't think he took his shirt off too many times.
Zeta, I think he does.
Yeah, that's true. I found most of his stuff rather eclectic. G Gundam was all right, but I wasn't fond of the animation. The main problem I have with the franchise is that the writers always seem to relegate the cool sci-fi stuff to set dressing so they can focus on the misty-eyed young people trying to solve their relationship problems. With all that said, what would be your ideal Gundam anime? If you could kidnap one of your favorite artists to help make it, who would you pick? My ideal series would be a dark comedy about comically evil space dictators. I'd steal Luftras's, I don't know who the person is, I'm afraid, art style from, and there's an image sent. A sci-fi, and then another one they suggest is a sci-fi horror about pilots getting fused to biomechanical mobile suits, something like one of the robots from Dragon Heart's Heaven.
I vaguely remember that.
What do you think, Mikey? What would you do?
I will say this is something like getting into Gundam. That is what Gundam is for the most part. Gundam...
I'd say it's less about misty-eyed people and their relationships. It's about the different aspects of war and how it kind of affects people. That's the idea.
Essentially, conflict.
Yes.
Through the eyes of useful people who should not be there.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna say like maybe too much focus is put on the young people, but that's anime. It's always focused on young people for the most part.
Young people, they're everywhere.
Gross.
It's oh god, who would I get to do a Gundam series? I mean, I actually have a real answer, but Andy probably has already figured out what would you do if you could make your own Gundam series, what it would be.
Well, to be fair, if it's what I'm thinking it is, you may as well suggest it because Bandai's never going to do it.
So if I could make my own Gundam series, calm down, everyone. This will shock you.
Mm-hmm.
It would be an animated adaptation of the seminal manga Mobile Suit Crossbone Gundam.
And again, why not? They're never going to fucking touch it. They've had years to do it. And they've never once considered doing even a little bit. They always tease. They always tickle your dick. That's as good as you get. You got Build Fighters, and they were like, he's some Gundam X stuff, eh? You'll never get it. You'll never get it. Never.
No. It's annoying. But as to who I'd have animated, it would have to be Sunrise. But like, I don't know enough individual like animators and stuff like that. If I'm honest.
No, me neither. No.
I recognize people's styles. Like, I don't necessarily remember their names. I probably should. But
let's say not the people that did Knights of Sidonia. Let's say not them.
Not Polygon.
Not Polygon.
No one who's affiliated with Netflix.
Yes, preferably no one affiliated with Netflix.
I wouldn't need. Do you know what? Let's give it to Wit. Let's just give it to Studio Wit. They've proved that they are
do
fucking
good
amazing.
Work. Yeah.
Or like maybe Madhouse or some of the the other big names. But like no, I'm gonna go with Wit. Wit is just like knocking it out of the park with their action animation at the moment.
Yeah.
So give me Crossbones animated by Studio Wit.
I'm okay with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't really have an answer because I don't know what I want to see from a Gundam series. I the only thing I did was I left a YouTube comment and left a suggestion of watching Iron Blooded Orphans because I think Iron Blooded Orphans is pretty fun. Like that show.
Yeah, that's a solid show.
Have you seen Iron Blooded Orphans?
I have now, yeah. I saw it a while back. Oh. But you were right when you said like the main protagonist is the least interesting part about it.
Oh god, it's not about him. It's about Olga. Olga's he's way more interesting, and the story's about him.
I still am so shocked by how much I'm not into the Barbatos.
That's fine.
The Barbatos but I never get over it. Barbatos is my aesthetic, and I'm not.
I thought it was Barbatos Lupus Rex that should be the one that
especially the Lupus Rex.
Oh, okay.
The Barbatos in general.
Yeah, I mean it wasn't my favorite from that show, but that was all right.
What's the Bale? I think is my favorite.
Bale's neat. The only thing I wish with Bale is it had a bit more color to it.
Well, that's what you buy paint, Sandy.
What's a paint? Is that what you eat?
I mean, you can, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend it.
I can eat paint? Done. Sold. Love it. Yeah, I think that's all we got time for this week, Mr. Mikey. Unless you got anything else, you got a diddly-dally and shilly-shally into my face.
Nope.
All right, where can people find you on the internet, Mr. Michael?
You can find me on Twitter as Irish Paleo, and you can contact us on the Moonbase2 at gmail.com, or on Facebook, or on Milton, or on Patreon, or on all those wonderful places, and we would love to hear from you.
Yeah. I'm
What
sorry
about
if
you,
I've
Andy?
missed out any of your messages. I think I got them all.
If we missed him out, it's Andy's fault.
It is, actually, yeah. But don't blame me. It's been, a lot of issues this week. Fucking computer. You can find me on Twitter and YouTube and Twitch as Decayed Andy, as in a decayed, disgusting corpse, rather than a decade, as in 10 years. You can find this podcast on the Moonbase 2 forums, Twitter, iTunes, Facebook, Libsyn, and on YouTube. And on YouTube, it's Moonbase 2 Transformers Podcast. You can head over to patreon.com/Moonbase2 and get the extended version from the files of Teletran 2, or it being a week early, one of the two. Mikey recorded one recently, yesterday.
Yes. Yep. So that'll be up
sometime
later in the month, I'm assuming.
Yep. And you also get the Moonbase Woo Woo, where I talk about known Transformery things in more detail. I was meant to get up the Stargate Season 1 talk, but my PC died. So hopefully I'll be able to get that up sometime this week. And then I'll be getting, I guess, Season 2 of Stargate SG-1 talked about, unless Mikey has a one to slap in there. Either way, we'll have something for this month as well. We're also on the ccbunker.weebly.com if you want to go that way. So thank you very much, Mikey, for coming and joining me this week.
Thank you for having me. I sound distracted because I'm tired.
Oh my god, it's very dark and I've got no lights on, which is distracting. So until next week, everybody, thanks very much for coming on by, and me and Mikey will see you suckers next time.
Fight me, bitch.